you're looking to get more referrals and you really want to make sure your website is optimized for SEO and that you're clear on your offering. The first thing I would do is actually take this subscribe section off of the top of your site, because people here are not going to know what you do or even why they would want to sign up yet. I do like that you've got a really simple menu here. I would say that if you do not sell anything on your site, it doesn't look like there's a shop, I would take off this cart icon just because it's taking up space. The other thing that I've noticed on here is that you have one big long section with all of this content, and then you break it up a little bit, but it's really boring. You've got a lot of expertise. We just want to make your site speak to the right people so that they make this first section your headline in its own section. Maybe put an image behind it or use a different color. You really want to capture people's eye as soon as they land on your site. And then I want you to add a call to action button that either sends them right to book a call, sends them to your contact page, like something to make it really easy for them to take action on working with you. The other thing that I would say is I think rethinking your headline here is going to be helpful. People are going to come to your site probably searching for like nervous system regulation, but this is not going to tell them what transformation they get. Reclaim Your Life is really broad, and so we want to narrow down on the words that they're going to use in order to help them to connect with you right away. Okay. I really like this because you're addressing that more. Like, you don't even know what your nervous system is about. You don't know how it works or what impact it has. I would not have all of this be the same heading size. Let's take that down a little bit. So your heading 2 is probably what this is. You want to make sure that you have got words in there like fight, flight, shut down, or freeze, and then stress and high anxiety, because those are the words people are going to Google. And then you can go into a little bit more of a description. And this, again, this could be set as a heading 3 or 4 because people are going to be using dysregulated, and we want this to stand out. Down here, I would again add a call to action button. These are different symptoms and what you're going to learn about. I would add icons at least above these, and again, I would make it a separate section so it could have the gray background or white, or you could add a third color in here and then have an icon, and then you have more of this information. But I really want you to make each of these a very clear point. I would love for you to change this to say, meet Jessica. And then I would make this testimonial into a separate section again, but I love that you've got it. For the subscribe, this is the perfect place to include it, but I would make this really specific as to what they're going to get if they subscribe. And even if you don't have an opt-in already, you could just name the emails that you send out as some kind of series. And then in your footer down here, I want you to take advantage of this space so you can get rid of the Made with Squarespace. Have your business name. I would have links to maybe learn more that included your home, about, blog pages, and then maybe work with me. You could have your work with me page, a contact page, something like that. You could also have links to all of your social media. That's really going to build that out. If you see anybody in person, you want to make sure your location is here as well, and then make sure that you've got your privacy policies and copyright information linked up at the bottom of your site. Again, I would make this a separate section visually so that you can change the color of the background. Build out your color palette just a little bit. You've got this light gray, you've got the black, which is great, and then white. I want you to think about what are some colors that are going to make people feel less anxiety and stress when they come to your site. Give them a deep breath with these colors. It's probably going to be blues and greens. Maybe it's just really calming images. It doesn't even have to be like, I think a lot of times we think of, let's have waterfalls and the ocean. It doesn't even have to be that. It just has to be something that's going to be relaxing for people so that they're able to focus on what you're saying, and then add one brighter color in there, a yellow, a coral, something like that for your call to action buttons to help them stand out. I love that you're sharing your story here, and I think that really is going to relate to people. I would start, though, with a headline that relates that back to the people that are coming here. We want every page of your website to communicate why you're the right fit, build trust with people, convince them to work with you. And then you can go into like how your story connects with them. I like that you've got testimonials here again. Those are great. And then it's not you, it's your nervous system. This could even be your headline on this page. It's not you, it's your nervous system. All those feelings, and that's going to put people at ease, right? Like all those feelings that you're feeling does not make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad mom. That's what you're trying to communicate here. You have one-on-one coaching with a 12-week program. You've got some workshops, and then you've got your contact form. So I want to build this page out to really take advantage of making it clear how you can work with people, but also get all of the stuff on there for the SEO. Let's add a call to action button to get in touch with you. You can even have it scroll down to this part of the page. Then I want a little bit of an introduction to what nervous system coaching is. And then what I would like to see is that you've got, here's what one-on-one coaching includes. It's a 12-week program, Zoom sessions, resource library. Let's have those be in columns with icons on top so that you can build that out, call to action button. And then under that, I want testimonials. And then you can have your previously recorded workshops. So you can have a section that's want to just dip your toes in the water. Here are some free previously recorded workshops, and give both of these. So what I would do is have an image and then have the title, or have the image with the text over top. You can add the name and then send them to sign up. What I would actually do is have a headline that's get in touch and a general contact form here. It may be people reaching out about the session with you. It might be people reaching out about other things. So in Squarespace, what I would do is take your form and just add a drop down where they can let you know what they're interested in. Are they interested in working with you? Are they interested in interviewing you? Are they just wanting to say hi? Give them those options. Give them a little bit of information about getting in touch with you. So what is your email address? What are your hours? What is your typical response time? Include links to your social media here. Have that more general form, and then you can have a section that says, are you ready to work together? It starts with a 30-minute call. Give them a button that then it could either open up the form so you can turn your form onto Lightbox. So it would technically be a separate form on your website, but that gives people two ways to get in touch. The other option that you have for this 30-minute connection call, depending on how you want to handle it, is to give people a link to book it directly. It could go to a scheduling software like Calendly if you want people to just get right onto your calendar and reduce that friction. This is where the majority of your SEO is going to come from once you get the foundational work on your site done. So I like that you have kind of an introduction, your nervous system in daily life. I think we can just make that a headline. Again, give this its own section. I would really love to see if you have categories for your posts. Let's create some buttons for those categories. Really think about what posts are going to answer the questions people have about nervous system regulation, about how coaching can help, like what are some things that they can do right now. And that's going to give you a really good idea of where to start. And then in that blog post, I either want you to give them the call to action to sign up for the workshop and get on your email list, or to schedule a call about working with you. So once they see that quick win, then they're going to want to work with you. The other thing that I want to make sure that you do in Squarespace is actually add all of your SEO descriptions. So if you go in your side menu to marketing, you can add your site title and your site description. And then in the settings for each page, you can add a page title and a page description. Let me show you what that can do for you. So right now, your site title is your business name. What I would love to see you do is then put a dash or a line or something and say nervous system coaching or something like that, using those keywords so that it's really easy for people to see what you're all about, for Google to see what you're all about. And then for each of these pages, it's going to have the page title, and then it's going to have your business name, and it's going to say nervous system regulation. And that's what we want to do. And then you can say about, or you can say about me, work with me. Maybe this is like nervous system coaching, and then it's your business name. And then for each of your posts, you've already got this set up as your title. Just make sure you're going in there and you've got an SEO description, because if you don't, what it's going to do is it's going to pull your first 300 characters. And this is not necessarily what you want to show up for.